Hello everybody, and welcome to the channel. I'm Sydney, and today someone has asked me to kind of walk everybody through all the requirements at Berkeley, because I know it can get a little bit confusing, and I know it's different from like other countries, and the website doesn't do a great job of detailing it, so I just figured I would come on here and walk you guys through. So right now we're on my webcam, which is why the quality is a little bit weird, but I'm going to go ahead and share my screen and kind of show you guys my whole lineup of everything. So I've only been in letters and sciences and College of Engineering. I was originally in letters and sciences, and now I'm in College of Engineering, and so those are the two colleges that I can speak for in terms of what the requirements are, because I haven't seen everything in like CNR and Haas, but I'll be talking about these today. But to start off, we have like our university requirements. So no matter who you are, as long as you're studying in Berkeley, you have to have met these requirements right here. So most of them can be waived from high school credits, either by the SAT or by AP credits if you've taken AP tests. So for entry-level writing, you need to complete it by the second semester of enrollment. However, you can pretty much get this by taking the SAT, or you can get a 3 or higher in AP Lang or AP Lit. So the entry-level writing, most people don't have to take. Here it says that it was satisfied for me with a score of 3 or higher in the advanced placement examination in English language and composition. So that's entry-level writing. And then we have American history, which for me was also waived by an AP credit. But I think this is like can be satisfied with like high school work. So if you've taken an American history class in high school and got better than a C, then you don't have to do this one as well. Next on our list is American institutions. This one, again, it just has to be either, I actually don't know if this one was from high school. I think this one might have been waived for me from AP US History, but yeah, and this one also for me was satisfied by AP US History. I don't know if this is, I think, you know what, I think this letter grade of C- or pass must be from Berkeley, but oh, also if you're an international student, then you don't have to do this, I guess. I've never read this before, but yeah, if you're an international student, I guess you don't have to do the American history and American institutions one. However, everybody needs to take an American cultures course at Berkeley. So this one, you have to take at Berkeley. You can't really waive it with any AP credits. You can also take a class at a community college and apply those credits, or just a different college and you can apply those credits. However, you do have to take a college level course and something that applies to American cultures. Personally, I took one in California fires, which I actually thought was really interesting. And so usually the American cultures classes are fairly like fun and reasonable, and like you're just with like a lot of people, and so it's pretty, I think they're pretty fun. They're not meant to be like painful classes. So that's university requirements. And then past that, it just says that you need above a 2.0 to graduate, which honestly I wouldn't worry about. 2.0 is a C, and so you just have to get an average, you have to like pass your classes. And that's pretty much it. Okay, in terms of campus requirements is from Berkeley itself. So there's university requirements, but like technically the University of California, like technically they're all one quote unquote university, but then there's just different locations. And so that's like university requirements are across like the University of California. So it applies to any UC you go to. Berkeley, however, is going to have its own campus requirements. So that's like, you know, University of California, Berkeley. So we are going to have, you need to have taken 120 units by the time you graduate. However, many of them can be satisfied by AP credits. I took, here you'll see, I took 9 APs. Not all of them counted for something, I don't think. Actually, I don't know, I haven't really looked at this, but you do get credits for this. And so, well, on my Cal Central, it tells me that I'm a junior, and that's just because I've passed 90 units, I think, which puts me in like a junior standing, but that just means that I had like a bunch of units to begin with. But you should be more than fine coming into Berkeley without APs if you haven't taken those yet, or at all. And yeah, I think you don't really need to be too worried, but it outlines like all the units that you've taken, and you just have to make it to 120. So I have 24.48 to go. Then you need to have taken no more than 1/3 of your units can be passed or passed. That's what PNP means, but so you have to have taken, I mean, everything is a little bit screwy for COVID, but you need to have taken 2/3 of your units at UC Berkeley graded. So you can take up to 1/3 of your units at UC Berkeley not graded. So okay, this is a little bit complicated, but basically, I think I came into Berkeley with like, let's just throw out a number. Let's just say I came into Berkeley with like 50 AP units, okay? So that means that you can deduct that from 120. So let's just say that there's 70 units less than I have to take. It's not how math works, just pretend it is if it's not. But yeah, so that just means that I have like of the 70 units, I can take, I have to take at least 2/3 of that graded. And then once you meet the requirements, like you can take as many pass or pass as you want. So it doesn't really matter, but like of the 120 minus the credits you came in with, like the remainder, 2/3 of that you have to take graded to graduate. To be fair, most majors are more strict than that anyways, and so you shouldn't really have a problem like meeting that number, because you're gonna have to meet that number in order to get qualified in your major. But in terms of the university, that's the requirement there. Let's see. And then your senior residence, you have to take, after you hit 90 units, you have to have completed 24 units after that in person or at Berkeley over 2 semesters. So they just want to make sure that you're like taking classes here and not just like taking up space on their like lists and whatever. But I think I'm at like 95 or something, and so after 90 I have 5 left, and this is how many I have to go to meet my senior residence, even though I'm only a sophomore. But it's just, they're just number punching at this point. Then that's pretty much the end of your UC Berkeley requirements. So over here we've covered university requirements and then campus requirements. Okay, past that, let's talk about the letters and sciences. I was in the College of Letters and Sciences for the first year, and so this is where I've gotten all this information. So basically, you need to have taken reading and composition A and reading and composition B. Now, if you get a 4 or 5 in AP Lang, it might just be a 5, I'm really not quite sure, in AP Lang or AP Lit, then you can get out of A, and for B, you can only get out of reading and comp B if you got a 5 in AP Lit, AP Literature. So AP Lang won't get you to reading and comp B, it'll only get you A. I only got a 4 on the AP Lit test, and so I took reading and comp part B. And there's a bunch of different classes that can fall under this category. It's just like a broad category, and you can take whatever class you want. I took one on theater and disability, which I thought was pretty interesting. We just did a lot of reading plays, and it was kind of fun. It was a good discussion. He was a little bit of a harsh grader, but you know, it's not too bad. After reading and comp part B, you need to do, or not after, but like in addition to reading comp part B, you need to do your quantitative reasoning, which can be satisfied with your SAT math score, or with, I think, any of the AP maths, or I think you can satisfy this one with like a lot of different things. I believe it was with like a 6 something on the SAT. And so I think for the most part, people don't have to do like a quantitative reasoning class at Berkeley. However, if you do, then that's what that is. And then you also like technically have to do a foreign language. However, if you took 3 years of a foreign language in high school, then I believe you don't have to do it. Or if you're an international student, I think you also don't have to do it at Berkeley. I took 3 years of Spanish, so I took a year in 8th grade, freshman year and sophomore year of high school, and so I didn't have to take a foreign language here. Although a lot of people like the foreign language classes here anyway, so it's totally up to you, and you can totally to take a foreign language class if it interests you. Okay, now for the College of Letters and Sciences 7 breadths. You're going to hear a lot about these, and essentially they are just trying to make sure that you have a well-rounded education. So these are like your GEs, your general education requirements, in addition to your major requirements. So in order to graduate, you need to have taken 1 class for each of these categories. They're allowed to overlap with your AC requirement, your American Cultures requirement. So you can take a class that'll cover both of them, which is really nice. And then I believe you're allowed to pass no pass these classes also, which is really nice, because that means that there's a lot less pressure with them. So basically, yeah, you just have to take a physical science, a biological science, international studies. I believe international studies, you get an automatic credit if you study abroad. Philosophy and values, historical studies, art and literature, and social and behavioral sciences. There's a lot of classes out there that could satisfy a couple different breadths. However, for each class, you can only satisfy 1 breadth of that class. You can choose which one you want it to satisfy for, but it can only apply to 1. So you do need to take 7 separate classes. I will say that a lot of people will do these at a community college and apply the credits. They don't feel like doing a Berkeley level class of these, but I don't know. I think they're kind of interesting, and why not get the most out of your education, right? Like, you're to be here, so might as well take these classes with, good professors and whatnot. When I was in physics, I automatically got physical sciences like taken care of, and then my AC credit, I think, covered social sciences. I don't know, one of them. But yeah, so you do need to take 7 GEs, and that's pretty much the end of your GEs. You're more than welcome to take more of them, but these are the ones that you have to take. And then for the College of Letters and Sciences, this is the last like general requirement that you need to take. So you need to take 36 upper division units, and then you can kind of read through this. This is something that I wrote through back when I had my academic requirements for the College of Letters and Sciences. Yeah, so that's what this is. Just like give you guys a second to read through it. And then past this, and every major is going to have their own requirements. So then at that point, you're just going to have to look on the Berkeley website at your major. Usually if you just search like UC Berkeley data science, like, they'll either pop up a flowchart or a website of some sort that you can look to find what classes you have to take for your major. And so, every major is going to have a different curriculum and different GPA that you have to meet. So that's kind of that. Usually they have a flowchart of some sort that will tell you that. And so, okay, now for the College of Engineering. So we have a lot fewer requirements in the College of Engineering. I actually think that there's supposed to be another one here, but for the College of Engineering, same thing with reading composition part A and B, except for I believe the College of Engineering, you can't use your AP credits to, for the reading comp B. So you can get out of A and then you have to take a reading composition class at Berkeley. I did mine, thankfully, so that worked out for me. And then for the College of Engineering, in terms of the history and social sciences requirements, you do need to take 4. You need to take 2 lower division history and social sciences one. I believe AP credits can count for 1 of the lower division ones. My other lower division one also worked out with my American cultures credit, so I don't have to do that one anymore. And then you need to do 2 upper division history and social sciences classes at Berkeley. And so I'm in an anthro class right now. And then I'm debating if I want to take I'm gonna have to take another upper division at some point, but I don't know what it's gonna be. My friend was like, do you want to take this with me? And I was like, I don't know, maybe so. We'll see. And then past that, you're gonna have your major requirements. And so this is kind of what mine looks like right now. I kind of have everything set up, and I've been grading things out as I've taken things, and I'm just kind of writing things down for myself. But I do recommend having a spreadsheet of some sort, or I know a lot of people don't, but I just like to see everything visually. So there's lower division, upper division requirements, and then electives and stuff. Those are all things that you have to take for, those are things that I have to take for my major. Doesn't like me, but whatever. But yeah, I said figured out over here. But yeah, it's just kind of just doing things, getting through it. It's not that complicated, and I know it looks like a lot, but you are here for 8 semesters, and so you shouldn't have that much of a problem getting through all your classes. Yeah, they outline it pretty well if you look hard enough. And once you're here and you can see your academic requirements, it'll make a lot more sense. But yeah, there's this is what it looks like, and this is what you have to do. I know for the College of Natural Resources, I think they have something more similar to College of Engineering, where you just have to take 4 classes. But yeah, I think that's about it. I have no idea what's going on with Haas and no idea what's going on with the College of Chemistry. But yep, that's all the requirements that I believe, or that I know about. So yeah, I hope you found this helpful. Let me know if you want to see anything else from me, and let me know if this was useful. I think that's it, and I have to go to class now, but take care, and I will see everybody later.